Fellow shareholders, our gatherings in the past 2 years may have been wrought by strong economic headwinds, but we are glad to report that this year, things are looking up, and indeed we see some bright spots in the real estate sector and the economy as a whole. After wading through the uncertainty brought about by the pandemic, the country is finally emerging back to normalcy, albeit at a calculated but confident pace. Businesses across industries are reopening with their relaxation of restrictions. For one, this has brought back some vitality to the tourism and retail sectors, which are allied sectors of the real estate industry. And so, we are now taking steps towards normalcy, yet armed with a bounty of valuable learnings. In McKinsey's latest economic report for the Philippines, a fourth quarter 2022 recovery is foreseen, where across sectors, the forecasts are modest. Combining calculation and foresight, we at Century Properties are taking this time to lay the groundwork for our own revitalization. As 2021 ushered in, your company faced the year with much prudence and caution as hopes for the recovery of the country's economy were climbing. As the pandemic continued to affect the world in 2021, the company continued to prioritize its people's safety, providing its employees with assistance from ailment prevention, management, to sustained healthcare and assistance program, supported by a robust in-house medical team. The company rolled out the CPG vaccination, COVID Protect Our Generation immunization program, providing 100% free vaccines procured from AstraZeneca and Moderna to all personnel and other stakeholders beginning in July of 2021. Beyond medical assistance, the company also launched a program to address the pandemic-induced mental issues arising among employees in partnership with mental wellness organization Shelter from the Storm. In 2021, against the challenging backdrop of the pandemic, your company sought to complete its in-city vertical projects. We're happy to report that Quezon South, the last tower at the Residences of Commonwealth, is in its final stages of completion and is being prepared for turnover to clients this year. The Residences at Commonwealth is a 4.4 hectare project of Century Properties and its first master planned residential community development in Quezon City. The project has 8 towers, of which 7 towers with over 2,500 units have already been completed. As of end December 2021, 95% out of 3,200 total inventories of the Commonwealth project have been sold. Century Spire, our last vertical project at Century City, is in its final phase and is also being prepared for eventual turnover to clients. The 50-story building's architecture is designed by Daniel Liebskin, the visionary architect behind New York's Ground Zero, where its amenities and common areas will be interior designed by Armani Casa. As of end December 2021, a total of 537 units, or 96% of Century Spire's 558 units, have been sold. Century City is a 3.4 hectare mixed-use project of Century Properties in Makati City, with 8 buildings and a total of close to 5,200 units. We have completed the Gramercy Residences, the Knightsbridge Residences, Century City Mall, Centuria Medical Makati, the Milano Residences, Trump Tower, and Century Diamond Tower. We've also completed the resort residences at Azure North's Monaco and Bali Towers in July 2021 and September 2021, respectively. These first 2 towers of Azure North have a total of over 1,600 units, 97% of which have been sold as of end December 2021. And while completing the community's amenities, we are set to commence construction of its 3rd tower, Barbados. As turnovers and move-ins continue, Azure North is set to become a bustling residential enclave in Pampanga. But amid all these, your company was also preparing for the expansion of our footprint in the affordable housing segment, which, as of December 2021, already covers 10 master plan communities in 7 provinces across Central and South Luzon, with over 18,000 housing units for sale and 33.3 billion sales value. The past year also saw First Park Homes, our joint venture with Mitsubishi Corporation, successfully launching 3 more projects, particularly in General Trias Cavite, Baliwag Bulacan, and Tayabas Quezon, which have a combined total of 9.8 billion in potential sales revenue as of end December 2021. By the end of December 2021, First Park Homes completed over 3,500 housing units and turned over 2,400 units. First Spark Homes achieved a completion rate of 90% for Tanzas Phases 1 to 3 as of December. The company also substantially completed the initial phases of its development for its projects in Lipa, San Pablo, Pandi, Calamba, Batulao, and Magalang. In a year where leasing businesses were struggling to get back on their feet, your company's prudence and sound management practice yielded positive results for its leasing arm. Century Properties leasing revenue in 2021 contributed 1.2 billion or 14% higher compared with 795 million or 7% in 2020. As of end December 2021, the company's leasing assets have an aggregate gross leasable area of 136,000 square meters and an average occupancy rate of 70%. Despite lingering challenges last year, Century Properties registered a net income of 1.27 billion, up 10% from 1.15 billion in 2020. Our affordable housing businesses sustained its growth in 2021, with revenue contribution amounting to 3.9 billion, 1.64 billion higher than 2.26 billion in the previous year. This helped bring consolidated revenues to 9.4 billion pesos. Your company was also unrelenting in keeping rationalized operations, which resulted in a decrease in its operating expenses by 6% or 2.7 billion from 2.9 billion in the previous year. The company's balance sheet remained strong, with its total assets increasing to 54.5 billion from 53 billion in 2020, while its cash and cash equivalents, including short-term investment, amounted to 4.7 billion pesos. Century Properties adopted an overall strategy of preserving and increasing liquidity levels by reducing operational expenses, reducing capex by focusing on the completion of ongoing projects and phasing new launches, and maintaining the positive operating cash flows of each of the company's business segments. With Century Properties' prudent financial management, net debt to equity ratios have improved to single digits, and the company has maintained its credit lines with banks at healthy levels despite tighter lending policies amid lingering uncertainties. The company's debt to equity ratio remained at healthy levels, posting an improvement of 0.8x from 0.9x as a result of lower interest-bearing debt at 18.2 billion in December 2021 compared with 18.7 billion in December 2020. This 2022, your company is stepping into another phase with a more revitalized but cautious outlook. Under this guidance, Century Properties is ready to implement its recovery plans and, at the same time, having growth in mind. But we know from experience that this can only be achieved with our continuous adherence to sound risk management principles to be able to bring us towards those goals. In March this year, the company issued a 5-year, 3 billion bond as part of a larger 6 billion shelf approval, which is listed in the Philippine Dealing and Exchange Corp after a successful market take-up of the 2 billion base offer size and 1 billion oversubscription option. With demand for quality affordable homes remaining strong and robust, your company has earmarked 1 billion from the proceeds to fund capital expenditures of First Spark Homes Inc. First Spark Homes has 4 sites in the pipeline this year, with Naik Cavite already launched in March, Balanga Bataan in April, and 2 other projects in Central Luzon to be announced soon. These 4 projects have a projected combined potential revenue of 13.2 billion and a total of close to 7,100 units. Your company has also been busy preparing for the next chapter in its history. Moving forward, we shall focus on markets that are catered more toward end users, especially in key cities in our upcoming in-city developments. As industry watchers have reported shifts in property preferences of the market post-pandemic, one finding is that they have seen a sustained interest in house and lot options and thoughtfully planned vertical communities in key business and growth areas around the country. New standards in living and lifestyle inclinations have developed. We aim to have this changing preference work in our favor as we geared up to launch a new brand, an evolution of our homegrown recognized brand. While we will continue to deliver unique products that are best in their class, the core developments of this new brand will feature an integration of mid to high-end horizontal and vertical homes, commercial spaces, and curated amenities. Such master plan communities will not only support future residents and encourage reputable retailers, but likewise play an important role in this new line's identity and placemaking. With our legacy projects finally approaching completion, this new brand shall emerge, one that is set to make waves in the industry. A new generation real estate brand that emanates from our relentless desire to evolve and explore segments we have not tapped into. For the coming seasons, there is much to look forward to. Essentials will continue to drive consumer goods growth. Retail will continue to shift to digital channels and neighborhood formats, with e-commerce and home delivery likely to prosper. Closer to home, some sectors will likely have a positive impact on your company. Almost back to pre-COVID-19 levels are two sectors that contribute to real estate growth: overseas Filipino workers and business process outsourcing companies. Cash remittances from OFWs hit a new high in 2021, boding an overall improvement in the global economy amid the pandemic. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas confirmed cash remittances coursed to the banks rose by 5.1% to $31.4 billion in 2021 from $29.9 billion in 2020. BPO companies continue to be resilient and even grow further. With 1.3 million Filipinos currently living in their employ, they are expected to generate more than $29 billion by the end of 2022. And as we emerge from the pandemic, healthcare will likely continue to be a significant part of Filipinos' lives. But more notably, pent-up demand will likely continue in construction. Future growth in real estate can be driven by residential real estate and large-scale industrial projects, and further government investments in key infrastructure. For leasing, your company will focus on filling its portfolio by aiming to improve its occupancies and lowering vacancies. For our affordable housing platform, your company will launch projects in identified strong and low-risk areas, while ensuring sustained and competitive presence and delivery of client commitments in existing developments. All in all, we are full steam ahead in terms of project launches and branching towards a more geographically diversified presence, given strong demand despite the pandemic. But we can only do this with your unrelenting support. For this, allow me to thank you, our shareholders, for remaining our loyal partners through the toughest of times. We thank our board of directors and the executive committee for the wisdom imparted and their firm commitment to the company. Our management team for their tireless devotion, our committed and hardworking employees, and of course, our customers and business partners for their confidence in Century Properties. As you have stayed with us when we waged battle against the pandemic's toughest challenges, I am confident your faith in us will remain unbroken for the foreseeable future and beyond, especially as we slowly rise back up and get back to the business of building passion, of building new generation real estate. Thank you all, and I wish you all good health.